Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Hudson, and today I'll be teaching you how to use and implement the SDAIE strategy, Pass the Picture. So Pass the Picture is a fun, engaging, and creative SDAIE strategy used to help students describe and gain a better understanding of a historical figure or character in a story. The strategy is best used during a unit in which the class is reading a story or discussing a historical event or figure, but can also be used as a pre-reading strategy to help students predict what a character may or may not be like based off his or her picture. So the steps in using the strategy can be understood as follows. So first, the teacher will pass out a piece of paper with a picture of a person, a historical figure, or a character in a story on that piece of paper. So in our case, we'll do Martin Luther King Jr. On the back of that picture, a piece of paper with a picture on it, will be a blank sheet of paper for students to write their responses. So first, again, the teacher will ask a question about this person. So for example, who is this person, or where was this person born, or what were they most known for? Students will then practice the use of writing complete sentences in writing responses to these questions. As one student finishes the question, or finishes writing their response to the question, they will pass it to the next person in the row, the next student to write a response to the next question. They'll then repeat this process about 6 to 8 times until it gets to the last person in the row. When the picture gets to the last person in the row, they will then read that description to the entirety of the class. So for example, if we were to do it about Martin Luther King Jr., a student's response could sound like this. This is Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15th, 1929. He was born in Atlanta, Georgia to the Reverend Martin Luther King Sr. and Alberta Williams King. Martin Luther King Jr. was an American Baptist minister and civil rights activist, best known as the leader of the civil rights movement that began in 1954 in the American South. One of his most notable and influential speeches was his I Have a Dream speech. The speech was delivered on August 28, 1963 on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial to over 250,000 civil rights supporters. On October 14, 1964, Martin Luther King Jr. received the Nobel Peace Prize for fighting racial inequality through nonviolent resistance. So that's just an example using Martin Luther King Jr. of the Pass the Picture strategy. So again, students were practicing the use of complete sentences as they answer all those questions. Now in this strategy, the level of difficulty can be adjusted relative to the age of the students. So for younger students, teachers could ask questions that were kind of more explicit or more just based off what they know about the character immediately and doesn't require a super in-depth understanding of that character. Where for older students, the teacher could ask questions that do require a more in-depth understanding. For example, asking questions like how or why a character is or isn't a certain way. So this strategy is helpful for English language learners in the fact that it requires them to listen to the teacher's questions as the teacher reads the questions aloud. The students are going to read their peers' answers as they think of their own answers to questions. They're going to write their own response to these questions, again using abundant use of complete sentences, and speak. They're going to speak aloud to the class the description of the story. So Pass the Picture is ultimately a great SDAIE strategy used to help students describe and visualize characters using complete descriptive sentences. Thanks so much.